Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Matt M. Roy back once again. Guys are probably wondering where in the world have I been? Well, been pretty busy and haven't really had much of a chance to make videos, but want to see who might be here this morning because I have something really, really cool to show you guys. Now, most of you know I have not been making tech videos recently. Well, I'm going to try to change that. And I picked this up. Oh, Cassette Masters here. I picked this computer up at the thrift store a couple of days ago for $10. And this thing is really, really cool. Now, let me show you guys first and foremost, if my phone will focus. This is a custom built Pentium 3 computer. It's rocking an 800 megahertz Pentium 3 processor, 256 megabytes of RAM, and when I got it, it did not actually have a hard drive in it, but luckily I had a spare Mac Store 80 gigabyte IDE drive, which fit right in this computer. Everything else, for the most part, is stock how I got it, except for a few things around back, which I'll show you. But like any good Pentium 3 from this era, it is rocking a 3.5-inch, 1.44 megabyte floppy disk drive. You have a good old Hewlett-Packard CD writer. This is a 4x4 by 24 X CD writer. I actually had one of these I bought back in the day, brand new from Best Buy. So this dates to about 2000. I always love the way these open. Ugh. Did you hear the hint of sarcasm in my voice there? Yeah, these were good drives except for the way that these doors open. You see that the tray is not actually attached to the door like on most optical drives. It's actually recessed behind there, and then you have this little spring-loaded outer door, which these things broke off all the time. But luckily enough, this particular computer, it seems to have survived. Other than that, you can see who put it together. I have no idea if this company's still in existence. You know, I guess we could probably call that phone number and see if it's still there. P&P Computers. Actually, I have it hooked up to my 32-inch Vizio TV. Right now, I'm actually playing some Star Wars Racer. It's called, I used to call it Pod Racing because that's what it is, but it is the Star Wars Racer. And I'm actually using a Microsoft Sidewinder gamepad. These things are really, really nice to use. Other than that, let's see if we can get a little gameplay. I'm going to try to play this while I'm holding the phone. Let's see if I can actually do this. I'm probably going to be really bad, but we'll see. Let's see how I can do this. I'm going to have to kind of go like this. Whoa! How many of you guys remember this game from back in the day? And it is so much clearer playing it on this computer versus the Nintendo 64 that I used to play it on. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm actually really much better than this. It's just really hard playing it one-handed. But the graphics are really, really impressive. I have anti-lasting turned on as high as it'll go. Even the sound is really clear. Unbelievable. Let me go ahead and pause it here. All right, so you guys got a little taste of that game. Hardware, this is rocking a NVIDIA GeForce MX4, 64 megabyte PCI graphics card. Not the highest end card from this era, especially being that it's a PCI card, but it's decent for what I'm going to use this for. For the types of games that I play, it's more than adequate. The one thing I did after replacing this was the sound card, and I'll go ahead and go to the back real quick and show you guys what's back here. Let me see if I can move this table back a little bit. All right, so you can see back here, right towards the bottom here. Let me pull these cables off real quick so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about here. I know I shouldn't screw these in, right? Okay, here we go. So, right up here, we have a NVIDIA GeForce MX4, 64 megs of memory, just SD RAM, standard VGA, and what is that? S-Video out. Now, here's where it got interesting. Originally, this had a Sound Blaster 128 card in it. And I tried installing all different types of drivers. I tried doing everything I possibly could. The sound card would work, but you would get that kind of crackling in the audio. So what I actually did is I replaced it with the card that's in here now. This is a card. It's got, I'm not sure the brand. I believe it might be a Diamond card, but it has the Crystal audio chipset, which I've always had much better luck with. And ever since I installed this and updated the drivers, the games are playing flawlessly. I'm not getting any of the crackling or anything in the audio. And it does have the actual joystick port here. And that was important because even though I do have the adapter, the plug's right in here, by the way. This is how good old school gamers used to have to do it with the joystick port. I do have the adapter, which I think might be over here. I'm not 100% sure what I did with it, but I think I see it right there. So realistically, back, at this time, we had a lot of changes going on. USB was coming out, so a lot of times with these game ports, you would actually get an adapter, which would go from the joystick port to USB. And I theoretically could use that on the system, but the reason I didn't is I only actually have 2 USB ports on here, so I figured I might as well just keep the original joystick plugged in and save on a USB port. And then the only other change I made, originally this computer had a 33.6 modem in there, and I swapped that out with just a Netgear Gigabit Ethernet card, because let's face it, who's going to actually be using a modem these days? Now let me see, I think we had a few questions here. Chet Boulay says, oh wow, Pod Racing, the original Star Wars racing game. Yeah, I love that game. I cannot tell you how many times when I was in high school, I used to play that game for hours and hours and hours. And it looks a lot better on the computer. The graphics are far superior on the PC versus the way I used to play it, which was on the N64. A lot of that being because the hardware here is more impressive. The N64, it was a great system when it came out, but it was never really known for having great hardware specs. So let me go ahead and turn you guys around here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and see if I missed any other questions here. Nope, nothing yet. So let's get back to this computer. I'm going to go ahead and quit. I'm going to go ahead and quit the game. It'll save my work. Don't worry about that. But just show you guys what I actually have in here. And then I'm not lying. Ha 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 ha. It does have Microsoft Windows 98 2nd Edition is what I installed on the hard drive. It's got 256 megabytes of RAM. Now, this particular motherboard, from what I've read, can support up to 384 megabytes of memory. But for Windows 98, it's really not necessary. Actually, 256 megabytes is honestly a little bit overkill. So let me go ahead and show you guys Device Manager, because I know somebody here is going to say, hey, Matt, why didn't you show Device Manager? There are the optical drives. The HP drive reads as a CRW. You can see 4x4x24, which actually means it writes discs at 4 speed, rewrites discs at 4 speed, and reads discs at 24 speed, for those of you that didn't understand that. A lot of people don't know that because nowadays they just don't really rate them that way. And it looks like the top drive is a Mitsumi CD-ROM drive, which I might be replacing at a later time with a DVD-ROM. But honestly, it actually works just fine, so I'll probably just leave it alone, at least for right now. See, what else do we have here? Disk drives, your general floppy disk drive, just basic. There's that NVIDIA GeForce 4. This is an MX440 card, which again has 64 megabytes of built-in memory. Not a bad card at all. Let me see what else we can look at here. Network adapter. Again, I installed that Netgear GA311 gigabit adapter. And yes, I realize that that's overkill for a computer like this. Gigabit, it would never be able to take advantage of gigabit Ethernet, especially being that it's a Pentium 3 running Windows 98. The only reason I use that adapter is because, honestly, that's the only PCI Ethernet adapter I had lying around, so that's why it's in here. Let's see, sound and video. Let's look at this. Okay, the sound card is a Crystal CS4281. Again, Crystal is the audio chip on here, or the chipset, but I believe the card itself is a diamond card. Got your USB controller and just basic system devices. Basically what you would expect to find in a computer of its age. I am not surprised that it has a VIA chipset. A lot of off-the-shelf motherboards used VIA chipsets back when this was manufactured, which I believe was at the end of 1999, beginning of 2000. So, let's see if anybody has any questions for me so far before I go on. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to switch this up a little bit, do different types of videos, because a lot of you guys really like my tech-related videos. Let's see who we got here. John goes, Lenovo ThinkPad is the only laptop approved for use in outer space and the space station. That is a good point. It seems like that wouldn't be true, but I know for a fact it is, because they need something really rugged up there. All right, let's go ahead and restart the computer so you guys can actually see it, see the splash screen, and maybe show you guys exactly what this has in it. I can't talk to my. There's the card right there, 64 megabytes of memory. It's an Award BIOS that came out in 2000. And let me see if I can. I think I wasn't fast enough to get into the BIOS. But other than that, it was amazing to me that I was actually able to find this computer in the first place. Up until, I would say, for the last 5 or 6 years, I've not been able to find any retro or vintage computers at the thrift store. Nothing Pentium 2 or 3 era. I may still find the occasional Pentium 4, but Pentium 3 computers are getting very hard to come by, and Pentium 2s even more so. And I haven't seen an original Pentium computer in a thrift store here probably for the last 10 years. But what struck me about this computer, other than the fact that it was a custom-built one, is just how clean the case is. I mean, yeah, there are a few little scuffs and scrapes here, but I mean, look, for the most part, this clear plastic is all in good shape. There's no like extra marks or anything. There's no gouges or anything in there. The side of the case, everything is nice and clean. There's no scratches or deep scratches or anything like that. And this is metal. Don't be fooled. Cases from this era were generally all metal. This is plastic. Of course, this part's plastic, but everything else on here is just solid metal. And I will be showing more of this computer in the future. I'm not going to show you guys the inside right now. You're going to have to wait until a future vlog or live stream for that, mainly because I just don't have the room to do it right now, unfortunately. But let me know if you guys enjoy these tech-related videos. I do enjoy making them. Again, I really just haven't had the time to do a lot of these for a while. Let me see if you guys have any other questions. Anybody here have any questions about this particular computer for me? While I'm doing that, there was one more thing I wanted to show you guys. One of my favorite casual games, and I'm going to go ahead and mute this because the music in this game is really, really annoying. Have you guys ever heard of a game called Luxor, put out by Mumbo Jumbo? There's a whole bunch of different versions of this, but this is the original, which will run very nicely on this computer. Oh, that's right. What do you guys think of my Key Pro keyboard? And before anybody asks, yes, clicky keys. This uses some form of ALP switches, I believe. You can listen to it. Oh, that is such a satisfying sound, I'm telling you. Go ahead and play a little bit of this game real quick. Just to let you guys know, we are all doing just fine. I know everybody's been asking about us because I haven't really been putting up a lot of videos lately. And again, nothing terrible. My allergies are acting up a little bit, but Dad's fine, I'm fine, Mom's fine. Just haven't had a lot of motivation to do videos, and I do apologize. I know you guys kind of rely on me putting up videos at least every couple of days, and I have been slacking in that department, I know. But don't worry about it. I have new videos that are going to be coming out very, very soon. Probably going to be doing some more vlogs, definitely going to be doing more live streams. You guys have made that abundantly clear that you really, really enjoy it when I do live streams. This game is just so relaxing. I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and just continually play this game. Ooh. And the object of this game, for those of you that are not familiar with it, is you have to get the colored balls together, at least 3, and then they'll vanish. Kind of similar to Dr. Mario in a way, or another good one would be Zuma. If you ever played that, I think that was bundled with one of the original, I want to say XP releases. I could be wrong. It might have been Vista, but I know that they call these casual games because a lot of hardcore gamers wouldn't even think about playing these at all. They wouldn't even think twice about playing these games, but I enjoy playing them once in a while. All right, tubers. Well, that's all I have for this live stream. I basically wanted to show you guys something really cool that I picked up the other day. Going to definitely feature this in more videos, but please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.